talking about global, regional, or local media, the fundamental challenges remain the same. They're very similar. During my years working in the foreign media sector, one of our key responsibilities was building communication channels with international media organizations and maintaining open lines of dialogue with journalists and media representatives from around the world. So our work was focused on expanding our media networking capabilities, as I said, at the regional and international levels, and adding new journalist friends to our sector, and of course, to our networking database. So I'm saying this because when media, when managed responsibly and professionally, is an extremely powerful tool. It shapes public understanding, and it influences how societies perceive political and regional developments. And because of this influence, maintaining credibility, professionalism, and objectivity in media reporting is essential. Once you become a trusted and credible source of information, people from all over the world will seek you, will look for you, will trust you, and will respect your work. In today's complex geopolitical environment, cooperation between Kuwait, the GCC countries, and global media organizations has become increasingly important in addressing misinformation and ensuring that the region's perspective is accurately represented. One important step is strengthening institutional communication between the GCC governments and the major international media outlets. By providing regular briefings, verified data, and timely access to official sources of information, governments can help journalists report developments based on reliable, credible information, rather than on speculation or unverified online content. Another important measure is enhancing coordination among the GCC countries themselves, developing joint communication strategies and crisis response frameworks allows Gulf states to respond quickly and effectively to the misleading and sometimes completely fake narrative. The GCC can then present a unified, fact-based perspective on regional developments. Engagement with international media institutions, research centers, and think tanks is also vital. This is another important aspect of our work at the foreign media sector. Through media forums, policy dialogues, and international conferences, GCC countries can explain regional dynamics. They can highlight regional diplomatic initiatives and as well as provide broader regional context that may not always be fully reflected in the global media channels and coverage. And at the same time, investing in digital communication platforms and multilingual media outreach is increasingly important. In Kuwait, for example, at our ministry, we broadcast in both Arabic and English. This program is in English, and on our in the radio sector, it also serves communities in languages such as Hindi, Urdu, Persian, and Filipino. So these communities form an important part of our society and reflect the diverse audiences that the Gulf countries engage with. Ultimately, Mohammed, transparency, timely communication, and constructive engagement with global media will remain essential in strengthening public trust, which is very important, and ensuring that the Gulf region's perspectives are presented fairly and accurately on the international stage. And I know I spoke a lot, Mohammed, but this is an important topic, and I wanted to make sure all angles are covered.
Mazen, please, you don't need to apologize. Your expertise in this time, especially given the current fog of war with information taking place in the world, is highly valued and appreciated, especially to our viewers at home. Now, as you were talking about finding verified sources, getting your correct information, what can you say about the, as we mentioned, the fog of war and how to deal with that and find the truth and facts in the world right now?
So first, the Kuwaiti government has been very clear in voicing its concern on the negative impact that misleading or false information can have. In fact, punitive measures have been imposed. These measures have been clearly and extensively publicized on the local media channels. I won't go through them, but I will add a few important points to this discussion. In today's fast-moving digital environment, media literacy has become an essential skill for everyone. Audiences should remember that not everything shared online, especially on social media, is necessarily accurate or verified. One of the most important steps is to rely on trusted and credible sources of information, such as the established news organizations and the official government channels when seeking information about major events. We have a responsibility. We have to help our government achieve its goals. It is also important to verify information before sharing it. If a story seems unusually surprising or alarming, our viewers should check whether it is being reported by multiple reputable outlets. Looking at the original source of the information, the date of publication, and the broader context of the report can help determine whether the content is reliable or possibly it could be outdated. Sometimes I even turn to my children when we see certain videos or images circulating online. They are often surprisingly quick to identify the AI, artificial intelligence generated content, or manipulated visuals, sometimes faster than I could. The kids even laugh at me when I get fooled by some of these posts. It simply shows how quickly the digital landscape is evolving and how younger generations are developing new instincts.
Especially with the development of AI, it's getting increasingly difficult to tell what is real and what isn't real.
Absolutely. But the youngsters seem to have the knack, the intelligence to identify what is AI and what is not. And this is what I'm trying to get to. This is the experience that I had. So with that said, we must all remain cautious with images and videos circulating online. Visuals can sometimes be taken from unrelated events or older incidents and presented as if they are happening now. A quick search, as an advice, a quick search or verification through credible media platforms can often clarify whether such material is authentic. This is our responsibility. And ultimately, responsible media consumption means taking a moment to question and to verify information before reacting or sharing it. By developing these habits, audiences can help limit the spread of misinformation and contribute to a more informed and responsible public conversation. Audiences today are not just consumers of information, they are also distributors of it. Every time we share a story, a video, or a headline, we become part of the information chain. And that is why taking a moment to verify before sharing is one of the most important responsibilities in today's digital age.
And Mr. Mazen, could you give us your view on how the various government entities and authorities here in Kuwait have been cooperating to ensure the safety and stability within the country?
Yes, of course, Mohammed. First, I think we must acknowledge that these are all challenging times for many people, especially that the events are happening during the holy month of Ramadan. In addition, for many people, what is happening may be the first time they are witnessing such concerning developments. I mean, people in my age, we lived through the invasion back in 1990. But for the youngsters, this is the first time they experience such things. So while the situation around us may seem challenging, it is important to emphasize that the Kuwaiti government has been working tirelessly around the clock to ensure the safety and the well-being of everyone in the country. In times of regional uncertainty, strong coordination among government institutions becomes essential. Over the past few days, Kuwait's leadership and government entities have been working continuously to ensure the safety and well-being of everyone in the country. This includes you, Mohammed, and your colleagues at the ministry. What we are seeing is a highly coordinated national effort where different ministries and government authorities are working together under a unified framework to respond effectively to the current regional challenges and developments. Security institutions also, such as the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Defense, they are maintaining close coordination with other government bodies to ensure preparedness and the ability to respond quickly to any potential emergencies that may affect the national security. And at the same time, ministries responsible for essential public services, including health, transportation, food security, and infrastructure, are working in parallel to ensure that daily life continues smoothly and that citizens and residents alike have uninterrupted access to essential services. Equally important, Mohammed, is the role of the official communication institutions, such as the Ministry of Information, the Government Communication Center, the Kuwait News Agency, KUNA, and our local media channels and newspapers, some private, some non. These entities play a vital role in providing accurate updates to the public and countering rumors or misinformation that may circulate during periods of regional tensions. So this unified communication helps maintain public confidence. It also ensures that both citizens and residents remain informed and reassured. Overall, in my opinion, Kuwait's coordinated institutional response reflects the country's strong governance framework and its commitment to maintaining stability and protecting the well-being of everyone living in Kuwait. We all hope that the current regional challenges will be resolved peacefully and very soon, and that stability will prevail across the region, inshallah. Kuwait's greatest strength has always been the unity between its leadership, its institutions, and its people. And that unity continues to be the foundation of Kuwait's stability.
Mr. Mazen, I'm glad you brought up the sense of unity and solidarity within the nation. As you mentioned earlier, when you were growing up, you lived through the invasion, the brutal Iraqi invasion of the state of Kuwait, and you mentioned that the younger generations don't have that experience. What valuable lessons did you learn during that time that we could take from you today?
Well, I mean, to summarize, it's everything I said in this interview, that information is a responsibility. And we have to be very careful when we spread news, when we share content. The government has been very keen on advising us and setting rules and punitive measures. So we need to help our country. We need to help our government to help the government achieve its objective, its goals, especially in a situation like what we are facing now, this turmoil and this instability. So the public, especially the youngsters, need to realize how dangerous it is to mess with social media and with fake news, with content that is not verified. Mm-hmm. So this is my advice, is to adhere, help the government achieve its goals. Show that you are responsible and that you will listen to the directives that the government is feeding us on a daily basis.
Mr. Mazen, I know we've covered a lot in this interview so far, but before we let you go, is there something you'd like to say to the audience watching at home tonight?
I think I spoke everything that I have to say. If you have any specific questions, please let me know. I will just repeat my advice, is that we need to help our government achieve its goals, to realize how dangerous false media can be, especially at our age now, when the internet is available to all. I mean, every person in this world can have his own channel and can have his own media. So in other words, I would just like to stress that we need to be responsible with the information that we spread, and especially with the information that we share. You know, the media that is being bombarded at us daily. I mean, everyone has a phone in his hand now, even 5-6 year olds. So this is a huge responsibility, and fake news can be very dangerous. It causes chaos, it causes anxiety, it causes discomfort, and while the government is trying to calm people down and have them live a comfortable, comfortable life without fear, without chaos, without, we need to teach our children to maintain the understanding that media is a responsibility, and sharing it is also a responsibility. And we need to help our government achieve this goal.
Now, Mr. Mazen, I know we said we'd let you go, but you brought up a very good point there, the fact that 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds have access. Would you say that the wide and available access to information and social media and the ability to pass along information has sort of muddied the water in today's world?
Absolutely, 100%. As I mentioned earlier, having this tool in your hand, this phone, and connected to the internet, every person in this world can be a media channel. And with AI, as we mentioned earlier, with artificial intelligence, you can foment any news, any picture, any video that you ask the AI tool, the AI agent to make for you, to make up for you. And so these are challenging times, honestly. I've seen some videos that looked 100% credible. Mm-hmm. But I've learned my lesson. I've made mistakes and I've learned my lesson. So nowadays, if my children are nearby, I will question them. I'll ask them. If not, I will seek help from the different channels, the different tools that are available online. But in the end, it really is a responsibility. Not only the news that we read and we share, but also allowing our kids, our youngsters, to have these telephones in their hands. The internet is limitless. I mean, you can see everything on the internet, and so it's a double-edged sword. It can be very helpful, but it can also be very damaging.
It's fun.
And parents need to really be careful and teach their kids to use this tool wisely.
It's funny how that happens. There's a sort of bridge or cooperation between the older generation, their wisdom and experience, and yes, the younger generation's tech savviness to sort of help each other find the truth.
The challenge, absolutely.
Well, Mr. Mazen, that's all the time we have for you right now. We're going to take a short break. But ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Mazen Al-Ansari, the former acting Undersecretary of Foreign Media here from the Ministry of Information.
تأكد جمعية الهلال الأحمر الكويتي جاهزيتها للاستجابة للطوارئ والكوارث في ظل الأوضاع الجيوسياسية الحاصلة في المنطقة. جمعية الهلال الأحمر الكويتي تعمل من ضمن منظومة إنسانية متكاملة مع مؤسسات دولة الكويت من حيث الاستجابة السريعة وتجهيز المتطوعين من ضمن أفرقة مختلفة للاستجابة للطوارئ في سرعة قصوى. يعد متطوعين جمعية الهلال الأحمر الكويتي من المتطوعين اللي تم تدريبهم مكثفاً في الإسعافات الأولية والاستجابة للكوارث والاستجابة الميدانية. تؤكد جمعية الهلال الأحمر الكويتي جاهزيتها الميدانية ورفع جاهزيتها من حيث الاستجابة للطوارئ في حالات اللي يتم ندائها. بالنسبة للمخزون الاستراتيجي لجمعية الهلال الأحمر الكويتي، فإحنا على أتم الاستعداد للاستجابة في حال النداء من قبل مؤسسات حكومة دولة الكويت.
In other local breaking news, the Undersecretary of the Ministry of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdul Wahab Al Waheb, affirmed that security personnel are the first line of defense in protecting the homeland and preserving its security and stability, stressing that their dedication and unity presents the fundamental pillars for strengthening the foundations of security within the country. This came in a statement by the Lieutenant General, cited in a statement issued by the Ministry of Interior following an inspection tour that he had conducted across several sectors of the ministry to review the security preparedness in light of the current circumstances and crisis facing the country and the region. The statement noted that during the tour, Lieutenant General Al Waheb reviewed the workflow mechanisms and procedures followed in the relevant sectors and listened to briefings from leaders and officials on the approved plans as well as the coordination mechanisms among various departments, further ensuring a higher level of readiness and swift response to various field tasks. The statement added that the tour included a visit to the Cybercrime Department, where he was briefed on the monitoring and follow-up mechanisms for content circulated across various social media platforms, as well as the procedures taken against anyone publishing content that violates the law, particularly in light of the current circumstances facing the country and the region. According to the statement, the Lieutenant General Al Waheb affirmed his full support for the efforts of the department's personnel, praising their role in monitoring and tracking electronic violations and dealing with them within the legal frameworks, contributing to limiting the spread of rumors or any content that could harm security or violate applicable laws and regulations. He also further stressed the importance of continuing to work in a spirit of teamwork and strengthening coordination among the different sectors in order to achieve the highest levels of efficiency in security performance and to raise full preparedness, praising the efforts exerted by the ministry's personnel in carrying out their duties with dedication and sincerity. At the conclusion of the tour, the Lieutenant General affirmed that the current phase requires greater readiness and commitment, calling on everyone to continue working with a sense of responsibility and discipline, and to exert maximum efforts in fulfilling their national duty. Earlier, we had spoken and had a conversation with Major Sara Jamil of the Ministry of Interior, who's continued to emphasize the importance of preparedness, coordination, and public safety amid the current regional developments. Their teams remain fully mobilized to ensure the security and the stability of the country. When we spoke to her, Major Sara Jamil provided us with the latest updates from the ministry regarding the ongoing security operations and the latest developments. Here is what she had to say.
Security and military authorities confirm they are operating 24/7 with high readiness to ensure public safety. Starting 12 midnight Friday, March 6, authorities handled reports of falling missile debris in several areas. Sirens were activated and calls to 112 were handled promptly. Sirens were activated 17 times, bringing the total since the beginning of the events to 67 times. Explosive ordnance teams responded to 64 reports, bringing the total to 229 reports. Also, due to the exceptional situation in the country, visit visas are automatically extended for 1 month starting February 28, 2026, without fees or penalties. Also, residents outside the country are granted an additional absence period of 3 months without fees or penalties. And the Ministry of Interior stresses compliance with the social media laws and warns against sharing content related to military operations or missiles, and urge the public to call 112 for any security or humanitarian assistance.
Throughout our conversation, she further passed along a message to the citizens and residents in the state of Kuwait to stay safe during this period. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
The Ministry of Interior also stresses compliance with social media laws and warns against sharing content related to military operations or missiles, and urges the citizens and residents to call 112 if they need any humanitarian or security assistance.
بتوجيهات مباشرة ومتابعة حثيثة ومتواصلة من قبل مجلس الوزراء ووزيرة الشؤون الاجتماعية الدكتورة أمثال الحويلة، سارعت وزارة الشؤون إلى وضع الخطط المسبقة التي تهدف من خلالها إلى المحافظة على مستويات المخزون الاستراتيجي من السلع المواد الغذائية والاستهلاكية، ولضمان سلاسة وسهولة تدفقها إلى الأسواق التعاونية. قامت وزارة الشؤون ممثلة بقطاع التعاون بتشكيل 6 فرق ميدانية بواقع فريق لكل محافظة، وذلك للمتابعة اليومية للتأكد من كفاية المخزون الاستراتيجي. إن هذا العمل هو ثمرة تنسيق وتخطيط مسبق مع جهات الدولة المختصة التي وضعت لضمان استدامة الأمن الغذائي في مختلف الأوقات، ودامت الكويت بحفظ الله ورعايته.
As we continue to cover the relentless efforts that the state of Kuwait has been exerting to protect the stability in the country and a sort of normalcy within the state, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry announced that there is no increase in prices that has been observed, stressing the commitment of cooperative societies to the issue's instructions regarding the stabilizations of essential product prices as part of efforts to protect consumers and to maintain market stability. The Director of Commercial Control and Consumer Protection Department at the Ministry, Faisal Al-Ansari, said in a statement following several field inspections of the various cooperative societies in the country alongside inspection teams that the Ministry has not noted any price increases. Al-Ansari added that the inspections were conducted in coordination with the Cooperative Societies Union and the Ministry of Social Affairs to ensure the fulfillment of all needs of the 92 supply centers, providing them with all necessary food supplies and facilitating procedures for the cooperatives to ensure stocks reach the central markets. He further noted that government authorities work in continuous coordination to guarantee the availability of essential goods for citizens and residents in all areas by monitoring stock and facilitating supply movement, thereby enhancing food security and ensuring market stability during consumption seasons. Al-Ansari also confirmed direct cooperation with Kuwaiti mills to increase bread production and to provide sufficient quantities across all supply centers, meeting the local demand and ensuring the continuous availability of fresh breads for citizens and residents. He further emphasized that inspection tours will continue in the coming period to ensure price stabilization, adherence to essential product prices, and the prevention of any violations, contributing to consumer protection and market stability. Within the framework of the ongoing field monitoring to enhance food control systems and to ensure the efficiency of procedures followed at border crossings and specialized laboratories, the Minister of State for Development and Sustainable Affairs and the Supervisor for the Public Authority for Food and Nutrition, Dr. Reem Al-Falej, affirmed that the food security system within the state of Kuwait is stable and enjoys a high degree of readiness. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, among other concerned bodies, had adopted regulatory plans in order to maintain market stability and balance between supply and demand. The ministry noted the continued implementation of approved emergency plans aimed at ensuring the sustainability of food security, diversifying import sources, and strengthening reserves in coordination with the milling companies and the private sector as a precaution against any regional or global developments. The country's efforts to maintain food security will be revealed in this report.
The food security is a fundamental pillar of national stability, and the state of Kuwait is continuing to develop the food monitoring and sustainability system to ensure the protection of consumer health and maintain the stability of the food market. That was confirmed by Minister of State for Development and Sustainability and Supervisor of the Public Authority for Food and Nutrition, Dr. Reem Al-Fleij, who affirmed that the food security system in the state of Kuwait is stable and enjoys a high degree of readiness, adding that the relevant authorities are continuing to work and coordinate to ensure food safety and the continued flow of food supplies to the local market, which is witnessing an abundance of goods. Minister Al-Fleij, who also oversees the work of the Public Authority for Agricultural Affairs and Fish Resources and the Environment Public Authority, emphasized that all food shipments arriving in the country are subject to rigorous testing and analysis procedures according to the highest standards to guarantee their safety before entering the local market. Several ministers, including Minister of Public Works Dr. Noor Al-Mish'an, conducted inspection tours of Kuwait ports and other key facilities, during which they reviewed the workflow and operational mechanisms and monitored the movement of goods and commodities entering and leaving in order to ensure the readiness of operational facilities and the efficiency of procedures followed in import and unloading operations. The visits aim to ensure the smooth flow of supplies and the uninterrupted flow of goods into the country, as well as to enhance coordination among relevant authorities to guarantee the continued availability of essential commodities and the stability of local markets, thus supporting the food security systems in light of the current circumstances. On the other hand, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry affirmed that the country's strategic reserve of basic food commodities remain at normal, reassuring, and sufficient levels, with additional quantities available to cover an extended period. The ministry confirmed that all essential commodities are available in local markets in quantities sufficient to meet the needs of both citizens and residents, with no reported shortages. The ministry underscores the readiness of the concerned authorities and their ongoing supervision of projects under the National Food Security Strategy to safeguard the safety and stability of Kuwait's strategic food stockpile. The ministry's measures fall within the framework of the Strategic Food Security Plan approved by the Cabinet, which the ministry is tasked with implementing and continuously monitoring. According to Faisal Al-Ansari, Director of the Commercial Control and Consumer Protection Department, food stocks are secure and stable, and that rationed goods are available in sufficient quantities at all cooperative societies. Al-Ansari added that the Ministry of Social Affairs plans to allow each cooperative society to own its own transporter for receiving goods from the Kuwait Flour Mills Company, addressing the current imbalance where some societies have multiple transporters while others rely on only one. As this measure was set to streamline operation and expedite distribution, the official confirmed that inspection teams are deployed across supply branches to monitor workflow and ensure compliance with operation rooms, tracking activities in real time, noting that strategic stock levels of essential commodities are monitored daily in coordination with suppliers to ensure uninterrupted supply across all regions. Amid the ministry's extensive efforts, supervisory teams have intensified inspection tours to prevent overcrowding, with immediate action coordinated with the Union of Cooperative Societies, the Ministry of Social Affairs, and the Ministry of Interior when needed to manage traffic and ensure smooth distribution. In a related matter, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry signed an agreement with the Ministry of Social Affairs to remove all obstacles facing cooperative societies in developing their supply branches and expediting their operations. The agreement allows societies to purchase trucks for transporting goods to supply centers and cooperative societies, and permits an increase in handling staff and other needs of the societies, which will contribute to expediting supply operations and preventing any congestion or shortages of goods. Meanwhile, the General Administration of Customs has issued urgent instructions to all land, sea, and airports prohibiting the export of all types of food products, following Minister of Commerce and Industry's Decision No. 20 of 2026, with the aim to preserve food security and maintain stability in the local markets. The instructions have been circulated to all customs departments, emphasizing full compliance with approved procedures and strict measures against violations. The General Administration of Customs reaffirmed its commitment to protecting the country, ensuring public safety, and implementing all decisions of the competent authorities with professionalism and responsibility.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our live coverage as we give you the latest developments taking place here on the state of Kuwait. We will now be joined with our live correspondent, Khalid Al-Hajji, who I believe is at the Mishraf Walkway. Hello, Khalid. Can you hear us right now?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Khalid.
Yeah, okay. We are now from Mishraf Walkway. We wanted to give you a picture for what's going on. People are coming from after Iftar to take a walk or even cycling in the Mishraf Walkway. But something that I noticed since I was here, that people aren't staying a lot in the Mishraf Walkway. They are coming for like 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and then leaving back home. You know, Mishraf Walkway is one of the biggest walkways in Kuwait, and people of Mishraf are coming here for sports, or let's say to take a breath after what's going on in the country. So at the same time, they also still have this awareness in them that public authorities told them to stay home, stay safe, but also they need to take that walk for at least 25 minutes, 30 minutes a day. So after Iftar, before Taraweeh, or even before Qiyam al-Layl tonight, they are coming here for a walk and then going back home.
Thank you very much, Khalid. Are there any final words you'd like to tell the audience before we let you go?
Or what I want to say to the audience, dear viewers, please take all your information from the Kuwait TV channel, or at least from the authorized places. Don't look to the social media and all the misinformation that's on the social media right now.
Thank you very much. That was Mr. Khalid Al-Hajji, our live correspondent out there on the field at Mishraf Walkway. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue our coverage, but we have some breaking news for you all. His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Mishal Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, may Allah bless and protect him, has sent 2 cables of condolences to the families of the 2 martyrs of duty, the late Lieutenant Colonel Abdullah Imad Al-Sharrah and Major Fahd Abdulaziz Al-Mujmed, members of the General Directorate of Land Border Security at the Ministry of Interior, who were martyred while performing their national duties. His Highness the Emir, may Allah protect and bless him, expressed his sincere condolences and his heartfelt sympathies for this great loss to the country, recalling with pride the sincere contributions and the tireless efforts made by the 2 deceased in defending their beloved homeland. His Highness the Emir asked Allah Almighty to have mercy on them, to grant them spacious gardens in paradise, and to place them among the martyrs, and to inspire their noble families with patience and solace.
تؤكد وزارة الكهرباء والماء والطاقة المتجددة بأن عمليات توليد الطاقة الكهربائية وتحلية المياه تسير وفق الخطط التشغيلية المعتادة، وتؤكد الوزارة على جاهزيتها التامة للتعامل مع أي طارئ من خلال خطط متكاملة تتضمن الإجراءات الواجب اتباعها لاستمرارية الكهرباء والماء. وتوفر لدى الوزارة كفاءات وطنية مؤهلة وعلى أعلى درجات الاستعداد لتفعيل هذه الخطط متى ما دعت الحاجة. والمخزون الاستراتيجي من المياه العذبة في البلاد في ازدياد، إلى جانب توفر مخزون من المياه الجوفية، مما يعزز قدرة المنظومة الوطنية على الصمود والتعامل مع مختلف الظروف.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We will now be joined live by Khalid Salal, a strategic expert, to share his expertise with us on the current regional crisis taking place in the state of Kuwait and the Gulf region. Hello, Mr. Salal. Can you hear us right now?
Yes, yes, sir. I'm with you.
Let's start off with our first question, where, given the current regional tensions, how would you assess Kuwait's strategic readiness today in terms of the security preparedness, the public awareness, and institutional coordination?
In assessing Kuwait's strategic readiness under the current regional tensions, we need to look at the three key pillars: security preparedness, public awareness, and institutional coordination. First, on the security level, Kuwait has developed significant defensive capabilities over the past decades, particularly after the lessons learned from the invasion in 1990. Today, the country maintains a modern defense infrastructure that includes advanced air defense systems, strong intelligence coordination, and close defense partnership with the allied countries. These capabilities enhance Kuwait's ability to monitor potential threats and respond quickly to any escalation in the region. In addition, joint military exercises and cooperation with international partners continue to strengthen operational readiness and interoperability in the last decades. Second, institutional coordination plays a critical role in crisis situations like now. Kuwait has developed a framework where different government entities, such as the military interior security forces, civil defense, and emergency services, operate with their coordinated contingency plans. This institutional cooperation ensures that the decision making is faster. Resources are mobilized efficiently, and responses remain organized even during complex scenarios. This scenario is very complicated now. That's what Kuwait is dealing with it. The third pillar is public awareness, which is often underestimated but extremely important. A resilient society is one of that remains calm, informed, and cooperative during periods of tension. In Kuwait, government communication channels, traditional media, and digital platforms plays an increasing role in informing citizens about development and countering rumors or misinformation. Overall, Kuwait's strategic readiness today can be described as a balanced and cautious. The country prioritizes defense and preparedness while maintaining its traditional diplomatic approach that seeks de-escalation and regional stability. This dual strategy, strong defense combined with active diplomacy, it has historically allowed Kuwait to navigate regional crises with a higher degree of stability, sir.
Mr. Salal, I would like you to hold on to that thought. You brought up some very good and useful points there. Unfortunately, we have to take a small break, but we'll be back to continue our phone call and interview right after that.
Okay.
Thank you.
الاتصالات بالكويت شغالة بكفاءة عالية ولله الحمد. والهيئة العامة للاتصالات وتقنية المعلومات مستعدة لأي طارئ لا قدر الله. في ظل التوترات اللي تمر فيها المنطقة، فعلنا خطط الطوارئ وعززنا التعاون مع الجهات المعنية عشان نضمن استقرار الخدمات الرقمية وسرعة الاستجابة لأي مستجد. الوضع تحت المتابعة وكل الجهات المختصة على أتم الجاهزية. عسى الله يحفظ الكويت وأهلها.
تؤكد وزارة الكهرباء والماء والطاقة المتجددة بأن عمليات توليد الطاقة الكهربائية وتحلية المياه تسير وفق الخطط التشغيلية المعتادة، وتؤكد الوزارة على جاهزيتها التامة للتعامل مع أي طارئ من خلال خطط متكاملة تتضمن الإجراءات الواجب اتباعها لاستمرارية الكهرباء والماء. وتوفر لدى الوزارة كفاءات وطنية مؤهلة وعلى أعلى درجات الاستعداد لتفعيل هذه الخطط متى ما دعت الحاجة. والمخزون الاستراتيجي من المياه العذبة في البلاد في ازدياد، إلى جانب توفر مخزون من المياه الجوفية، مما يعزز قدرة المنظومة الوطنية على الصمود والتعامل مع مختلف الظروف.
الإدارة العامة للدفاع المدني على استعداد تام وجاهزية عالية، ونعمل وفق خطط مدروسة ومحدثة باستمرار لمواجهة أي طارئ، ونتابع مع الجهات الحكومية كل ما يخص احتياجاتها لضمان استمرار نظام سير العمل وعجلة الإنتاج وسير الحياة الطبيعية، ونقول للجميع سلامتكم أولويتنا.
منظومة الاتصالات بالكويت شغالة بكفاءة عالية ولله الحمد، والهيئة العامة للاتصالات وتقنية المعلومات مستعدة لأي طارئ لا قدر الله. في ظل التوترات اللي تمر فيها المنطقة، فعلنا خطط الطوارئ وعززنا التعاون مع الجهات المعنية عشان نضمن استقرار الخدمات الرقمية وسرعة الاستجابة لأي مستجد. الوضع تحت المتابعة وكل الجهات المختصة على أتم الجاهزية. عسى الله يحفظ الكويت وأهلها.
تؤكد وزارة الكهرباء والماء والطاقة المتجددة بأن عمليات توليد الطاقة الكهربائية وتحلية المياه تسير وفق الخطط التشغيلية المعتادة، وتؤكد الوزارة على جاهزيتها التامة للتعامل مع أي طارئ من خلال خطط متكاملة تتضمن الإجراءات الواجب اتباعها لاستمرارية الكهرباء والماء. وتوفر لدى الوزارة كفاءات وطنية مؤهلة وعلى أعلى درجات الاستعداد لتفعيل هذه الخطط متى ما دعت الحاجة. والمخزون الاستراتيجي من المياه العذبة في البلاد في ازدياد، إلى جانب توفر مخزون من المياه الجوفية، مما يعزز قدرة المنظومة الوطنية على الصمود والتعامل مع مختلف الظروف.
قوة الإطفاء العام على استعداد تام وجاهزية للتعامل مع أي طارئ على مدار الساعة من خلال مراكزها البرية والبحرية والمطارات، ونحن نعمل وفق خطط طوارئ متكاملة بتجهيزات متطورة وكوادر مدربة على أعلى مستوى لضمان سرعة الاستجابة وكفاءة التعامل مع مختلف البلاغات سواء كانت خطرة أو بسيطة. وهذا الاستعداد والجاهزية لدينا مستمرة على مدار العام حفاظاً على سلامة الأرواح والممتلكات وتحقيق الأمن المجتمعي.
الحرس الوطني قادة وقوات دائماً على استعداد وجاهزية تامة لحماية الوطن بالتعاون مع زملاء السلاح في وزارتي الدفاع والداخلية وقوة الإطفاء العام، وتقديم الدعم والإسناد لكافة جهات الدولة خاصة في أوقات الأزمات والطوارئ. ونسأل الله أن يحفظ وطننا الكويت من كل مكروه في ظل قيادته الرشيدة.
Announcement from the Ministry of Interior. The General Department of Civil Defense will conduct a trial operation of sirens on Tuesday, November 5, 2024, at 10 a.m. across all areas of the state of Kuwait. Citizens and residents are advised to observe the following guidelines when they hear the sirens. Intermittent tone signals an imminent danger. Waved tone indicates that danger is currently occurring. Continuous tone signifies that danger has passed. Please remain calm, do not panic, and follow the...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We still have Mr. Khalid As-Salal, strategic expert, with us on the line. Mr. As-Salal, you brought up some very good points earlier. You mentioned Gulf security cooperation and joint military frameworks. Do we see that happening right now, the Gulf region uniting and helping each other's militaries in terms of catching the aerial attacks on our sovereignty?
Yes, GCC, of course, we have quickly response to any escalation in this region. Joint military exercises that done before, and cooperation with international partners that's been making strengthen operational readiness and interoperability for all these. And we have many exercises has been done for this situation now. We have a good experience, especially when 2003 and the Iraqi war, Kuwait has we have all the ballistic missiles that has been launched from Iraq, none of them reached Kuwait. That's been intercepted by the Kuwaiti air defense, all of them. That we have very good experience, especially in the Gulf region now. They have this experience also. This region is very experienced in these situations now.
Mr. Salal, moving beyond just the regional cooperation in terms of international cooperations, we're seeing that the French government is sending support along with anti-drone teams to the region. What can you tell us about international military cooperation?
Regional tensions inevitably influences economic stability, particularly in countries that are deeply connected to global energy markets and international trade, such as Kuwait. The first area of impact in energy market is as a major oil exporter. Kuwait economy is closely tied to global oil prices. Historically, this area, geopolitical tensions in the Gulf region tend to increase market volatility, sometimes pushing oil prices upward due to supply concerns. And in the short term, higher prices can increase government revenues. However, prolonged instability may also create uncertainty in global energy demand and investment planning. Also, the second dimension involves trade routes and maritime security. The Gulf region is one of the world's most strategic shipping corridors, particularly through the Strait of Hormuz. Any disruption or perceived risk to maritime traffic can affect shipping costs, insurance rates, and supply chains. For Kuwait, maintaining the security of energy export routes and a commercial shipment lane, the lanes, is therefore a strategic economic priority. And that's what's happening. Another important factor is the investor confidence. International investor generally seeks stable environments with predictable economic policies. When regional tensions escalate, markets often react cautiously, and investment decisions may be delayed until the situation becomes clearer. However, countries that demonstrate strong government, financial reserves, and institutional stability, like Kuwait, are generally more resilient to these fluctuations. Fortunately, sir, Kuwait benefits from significant sovereign financial reserves and a strong sovereign wealth fund, which provides a buffer against short-term economic shocks. These financial resources allow the government to maintain economic stability and even during periods of regional uncertainty. Therefore, while regional crises may create temporary volatility, Kuwait's economic structure and financial resilience help mitigate in the long-term impact.
Mr. Salal, you mentioned a few good points there, that there's the prices may go up right now, but the movement of the oil and supplies has seemingly halted. It's a sort of a quagmire situation, and we're also seeing some insurance companies who are currently totally refusing to insure any shipments through the Strait of Hormuz. And like you mentioned, the Strait is a vital energy pipeline to the rest of the world. About 20 to 30%, I believe, of the oil market runs through the Strait.
Yes, that's true. Yes, but before I answer this, I will tell you that if we're looking at the broader regional landscape, the Gulf Cooperation Council has the potential to play a major stabilizing role in the Middle East. This is a very important area to the whole world. First, the GCC can serve as a platform for diplomatic dialogue. Gulf countries historically maintained balanced relationships with many international and regional actors and big actors, which allows them to facilitate mediation efforts and reduce tensions between conflicting parties. Second, the GCC can contribute to regional economic stability through coordinated energy policies, investment initiatives, and economic partnerships. Gulf states can help stabilize global energy markets and support broader economic resilience. And third, I tell you, the GCC has an important role in regional security architecture by strengthening collective defense mechanisms and working closely with the international partners. Gulf states can help deter threats and maintain secure maritime routes that are vital for global trade. The GCC role is not only defensive but also constructive. By promoting development, humanitarian assistance, and regional cooperation initiatives, the Council can help address some of the root causes of instability in the wider region. The GCC long-term strength lies in its ability to combine security cooperation, economic coordination, and diplomatic engagement to maintain stability not only within the Gulf, but across the border Middle East.
Now, you mentioned the GCC as a vital energy infrastructure within the world. Do you think that this current crisis will begin to open different channels, different routes to move oil, liquefied natural gas, other sources of energy across the international market?
In times of regional crisis, the strength of a nation is not measured only by the military capabilities, but also the unity of resilience of its society. Social cohesion becomes particularly important because uncertainty and fear can sometimes lead to division. Also, the Gulf region faces shared security challenges ranging from missile threats and maritime security risk to cyber threats and regional instability. Because these challenges often transcend the national borders. It's not no single country can address them entirely on its own. This is why a collective security frameworks within the Gulf Cooperation Council play such an important role by sharing intelligence, coordinating defense planning, and conducting joint military exercises. All this, and the Gulf states can significantly strengthen their collective defense capabilities.
Mr. Salal, before we took a break, you were mentioning public awareness and the public's role. Could you elaborate more on that, how everyone in the society, no matter how high or how low they are in the society, they have a role to play in securing the safety of the country?
If we believe that we have a very strong security awareness in this region, especially I'm talking about Kuwait. If we're talking, the credibility is the most important factor in the strategic security area here. It has a very wide exercises before that be done for to be. We can arrange that and see what we are reached in a big high level of awareness of the security in this area.
Now, Mr. Salal, in situations like the one we're witnessing right now, misinformation spreads very rapidly during these times of conflicts. From a strategic perspective, how important is it that managing information and public communication is maintained and it maintains national stability as well as public confidence?
Managing information during crisis is no longer just a media issue. It has become a core element of national security strategy. In a modern conflict, information travels faster than events themselves. Social media platforms allow rumors, manipulated content, or misleading narratives to spread within minutes. If left unmanaged, misinformation can create confusion or undermine public confidence, and sometimes even affect decision making at both the societal and institutional levels.